What's your take on bodybuilding?
I'd recommend nobody do it.
So why do you do it then?
I love it, that's why.
Chazz Finnigan
is the viral bodybuilder and nurse, and today he's giving his first ever interview.
Are you natural?
No, I've been enhanced for about 4 years now.
How has it affected your head and your mental health? Tell me about nursing. What's that like going into a room when a kid's on a hospital bed and the parents are in there freaking out, and then like what's that like?
I did not think this podcast was going to go this way.
Dude, so you've been kind of blowing up on social media lately.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty cool, man.
So I was literally sitting in my bed. When did I reach out to you? Maybe a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
And I was just scrolling, and boom, this like jacked guy in scrubs pulls up on my For You page.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's up with him? And then you walked me through a whole day of like eating. And I was like, oh, this is lit. And then I start looking and I was like, I want to have this guy on my podcast. Like, I want to talk to him. I didn't know he had so many mutuals, like, Zan and everything.
Yeah.
That's the story of how this came about.
I thought Zan told you about me or something. That's how you found me? Because I had seen you interviewing him and everything. And I was like, this guy's close enough to him. I'm sure like Zan will mention me or something. But that's so funny that you saw me through the For You page instead.
No, it was lit. And dude, there's a lot of people that do like the lifestyle. You say you do lifestyle content as well as other stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely, definitely a lot.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it that's like a nurse
and
a bodybuilder. It's very niche.
I know, weird, super weird, and like starting it up, I just figured like, probably other people have done it, and like this isn't anything special. And then I started posting more and more, and like people loved it. People loved it, bro. And I was like,
I know.
Not anything special, just like me, my everyday, like me eating and everything like that. And I just didn't think anything of it, but people loved it, man. It's crazy.
What are most of your DMs like?
Most of them are a lot of nursing students, medical field people just asking for one, or just saying one, like, you're an inspiration. You show me that it can be done. I can get in all my meals and I can, do whatever goals I have and also work. And then too, a lot of people asking for advice, a lot of students asking for advice, like, yo, bro, like, how do I manage school? How do you manage school and bodybuilding, or how do you manage work and bodybuilding? And a lot of, just like life advice, how to balance everything essentially.
How do you manage that stuff? Like, I'm super curious. I just started corporate work, like for the first time ever, and now like you're in an office 9 hours a day. Time management's not easy, so I'm curious, like what are your best time management tips?
Just planning out your day. You just have to like simplify it as much as you can, honestly. Like right now, like my job isn't as stressful as other nursing jobs I've had, so it is like easier to get in my meals throughout the day. Like I'm not like running around like 24, like all 12 hours really. Like it's pretty, I can space out my stuff. I can make time for myself and the patients as well. So it's not like intensive care or anything like that. But when I did work in an adult unit, the best thing that I did was just like, I just simplify it. Like I know I have to get in 4 meals at a certain times during the day. I just know any free time I have, anytime I sit down or anything like that, there's no issue with me having a meal next to me or me going in the break room, or just because like with nursing, it's literally patient work and documentation. So like anytime I'm at a computer documenting and stuff like that, I can be eating a meal or putting something down, or any free time I have, I'll just go eat a meal. So like as long as I can get on those 4 meals, get in a decent amount of water, do my nursing work and patient care, that's all I care about. Like, and then I just try to stay off my phone. I try to just limit any distractions, preventing me from getting in the meals. That's pretty much it.
So if we were to circle back, because I know some people like, do you plan out your week? Let's just say Sunday comes. Are you boom, 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 I'm time blocking everything? Yeah,
exactly. Because most of it is, like with bodybuilding, it's pretty routine. So it's like, I know exactly what workouts I'm doing for the week. I know all the meals I'm eating for the week. Everything's the same pretty much day to day. And then as I go, I'll plan like pretty much like 3 days at a time. So I'll plan out, like, I know I have work and a day off. So I'll have to meal prep and get all my meals prepped for at least my food prepped for those 2 days. I have these workouts after work or I have a day off so I can get more sleep on this day and then I can, recover on my day off or work out on my day off.
Yeah.
I pretty much take it in like 3-day increments. And that's usually most nursing because we work 3 days a week. You have 4 days off.
What would you say has been what is your biggest time suck if you think about it?
Probably the gym and routine with the gym. Like if you're like heavily into bodybuilding, like people start getting like I don't want to say like religious, but like they get really into their routine. Like before I work out, I need to make sure I have enough water. I need to make sure I have a certain meal. I'm in a certain headspace, listening to certain music.
Really?
Yeah, everything is like very routine. Like if I don't, and it's like gradual, like build up into my workout and then I do my workout hardcore and then I come down and I'll go throughout the rest of my day. But like I need to be in a mental headspace to really push myself in the gym because of the level of bodybuilding that I hope to obtain, become a professional bodybuilder.
Wait, what does that look like to
So
get in that headspace?
that just looks like pretty much just being sort of calm, nervous-ishness, and then just like on the way to the gym, like I just have a certain routine. On the way to the gym, I listen to podcasts, like a specific podcast every time, pretty much. It's bodybuilding centered. I kind of just like clear my mind, try not to think about much, think about the workout a little bit, but not think about much, and then drink the same pre-workout pretty much. That's pretty much it, just like the routine of it.
So you're not even trying to get amped up.
No,
You're just trying
no.
to be calm.
Just trying to be calm, yeah.
Really?
If I get too amped up, I'll overthink things and I'll get too into it. So I need to be like really calm and like almost not think. And then as I start to ramp up in my workout, like mentally, I'm getting more into it and feeling my muscles connect and the pump come, and then I just keep on pushing from there.
Do you want to know something that I've always struggled with? So I've never been a bodybuilder, but like I have hella body dysmorphia, and I'm always like, I can gain 10 pounds in a week, and then I can lose. It's like it's all over the place. But really, my fitness journey started. It was sophomore year, end of sophomore year in college. I've always been someone who, because I played college baseball, and growing up, I could like never eat. I was always a skinny kid,
Yeah.
and they're just like, you need to shove food in your face. You need to eat, whatever. So I did, and then at the end of my sophomore year, I started getting a little chunky. I remember I took a picture in the mirror, and I'm like, God damn, I was always a kid with abs, and now I got a little beer gut. And so I really had to like, boom, I got to figure stuff out, and I got super restricted.
Yeah.
So I started like, man, I would intermittent fast. So I would not allow myself to eat before noon.
Yeah.
And then when noon would come, I would only have egg whites. I go to the gym after, cottage cheese. It's just like very restrictive stuff got diced up, just diced. I was looking really good. But whatever. Then that actually caused a chain reaction with a lot of issues with like, then I started binge eating and you gain weight and then you lose it, XYZ. But during that time when I was like, dude, I'm done being super lean. Like I actually want to bulk up. What I found is like, I got big, but there was always a certain point, and I still struggle with this. There's a certain point when you're lifting and it's a mental block or it's fear. It's like, I actually can't go up in weight anymore because I feel like maybe I'm going to get hurt or something's going on. But like you as a bodybuilder, do you ever struggle with that?
Yeah, definitely. More so like I don't really fear like hurting myself because I honestly don't do any like crazy lifts anymore. I don't do like deadlifts or anything like that or anything wildly crazy that would get me injured. And then honestly, like if I lose any sort of connection with my muscle, I'm usually stopping anyways, and I'm starting to like jerk my body or use other muscles to get the weight up. I'm usually stopping at that point anyway. So it's really just a matter of how much pump I can get from the actual exercise. And then mostly I'm just worried about, not connecting with my muscle and not getting a pump from it, not getting enough reps from it. I'm like usually in the 10 to 12, sometimes upward rep range. So if I'm not getting up to 10 and 12, like I'm not really going to be attempting it at all. Like I'm going for just to elicit like some sort of pump in the muscle. That's pretty much all I'm going for.
Can you break down? I've never thought about lifting in terms of like getting a pump.
Yeah.
Why is that so important?
It's important because it means that one, you're connecting with the muscle properly, and then two, that the blood flow is getting into the muscle, volumizing your muscle. And three, I mean, it's obviously building up lactic acid in your muscle too, so then it's going to break down the muscle. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, bodybuilding is mainly centered, not completely around the pump. Obviously, it's a decent amount of strength that you need to gain, but the pump is a great indicator that you're connecting with the muscle properly, the targeted muscle. Like if you're hitting rear delts, or if you're hitting, your middle back, like you need to differentiate between the two. And the pump is like a good way to decipher if you're actually hitting the muscle.
How would I go about getting a pump?
Just basically, I mean, obviously, firstly, your nutrition and diet. I mean, making sure you have enough salt, enough hydration.
Oh,
That's going to affect your pump pretty massively. After that, just pretty much your rep range, making sure you're executing the movement properly, and you're not using like a whole bunch of muscles to move the weight up. You're using just the muscle you want. And then after that,
dedicated.
it's just blood flow. And the more you move the weight, the more blood will get in the muscle. Yeah, yeah. It takes a little bit of time to realize when. Like I didn't get a back pump forever. And it wasn't until like 2-3 years ago, I'm like, wow, this is what a back pump feels like. And it was like, you just don't, it takes a long time to start to connect with certain muscles, but like straight off the rip, a lot of people connect with different muscles better. Some people like connect with their legs better, and
Yeah.
thus you'll see they have bigger legs most of the time. There's a correlation. It just depends body to body, like whatever muscle you connect with better probably gets a better pump.
Wait, how much of your lifting experience is like visual? Because when I think about connecting with the muscle,
Yeah.
it sounds visual.
Yeah, it's very visual for sure, especially bodybuilding. Like you are going to be want to see the pump in the mirror, and then two, like a lot of it, especially with like if you're going on stage and everything, you want to visualize how the muscle looks on stage and what you want it to look like, and literally sculpting your body into what you want it to look like. So you need to
Yeah.
add size in certain muscles. So you need to know how to hit that muscle and where to hit it. And you need to think about how you're going to pose on stage, because a lot of posing is just basically an exercise of flexing your muscle. And that's all working out is. It's just you
Yeah.
flexing a muscle, contracting it as hard as you can. So yeah, it's a lot of visual, mental aspect to bodybuilding for sure.
But I'm talking about during the actual lift. Like when you say muscle connection, I'm thinking about if I'm on the incline bench pressing, like seriously, when I'm doing this, should I only be thinking about my chest contracting and blood going to that while I'm lifting? Or like is your head somewhere else
No,
during a lift? Does
no,
that
it's
make
pretty
sense?
much, yeah, it makes sense. And it's mainly about, yeah, like you said, just thinking about the blood going into the muscle and my chest contracting as hard as I can. And then the other aspect I think about is probably like a lot of my joints, and making sure like my joints are moving in the proper direction. Like when I'm hitting back, I want to think about my elbows driving backwards, not my back or my shoulder driving backwards. It's the
Right.
same driver, is just my elbow coming back in an elbow pass. So like really I'm just thinking about my back squeezing, my whole
Yeah.
back musculature squeezing back, and then my elbow and the joint pulling it back, because that's the way to get that contraction. So yeah, I'd say joints
Interesting.
and the muscle contracting is all I think
And
about.
so your end goal is to be a professional bodybuilder.
Yeah, that's my goal in the next
How
year.
Okay, I was gonna ask how far do you think you are from that?
Probably a year, I'd say. I'm pretty close. It's just a matter of making sure that I get the proper size, because the guys that I compete against are like 15 pounds heavier than me. So I need to gain probably another 10 pounds would look good on me.
Do you
Of
have to qualify for that? Do you
Yeah.
qualify for that or you just do it?
Yeah,
Oh, you do?
you have to do a regional show first, and that's like a local show, and then you qualify by winning your class in that, and then after you win your class and that, you get qualified for a national show, and then from nationals, if you get first or second place in most shows, it's first or second place, you get a a pro card, or like you become a professional bodybuilder if you get first place.
And is that like we're talking what Chris Bumstead does? He's the one that comes to mind, or is that
Yeah.
something different?
Yeah, no, he is in the because then you're in the IFBB Pro League. After that, you're a professional bodybuilder. So yeah, he was in the IFBB Pro League, and he
Interesting.
competed in the Mr. Olympia, which is the pinnacle of that. That's like the biggest show out of that IFBB Pro League. Um, and he was an IFBB Pro. Yeah.
What's your take on bodybuilding though? Because I know there's not a lot of money in that
No,
game.
no, I'd recommend nobody do it because
Nobody do it.
it's hard, dude. It's super hard. Like, I mean, there's always a debate if it's a sport or if it's a hobby, yada yada. But whatever, if you do it, it's just hard, dude. It's like 24/7. Like literally from the second I wake up to the second I go to bed, even after that, because you have to worry about how you sleep and make sure you're recovering. So like literally,
Uh,
dude, it's 24/7. You have to make sure that you're perfect with almost everything. You have to eat 6 meals a day. You need to make sure they're on time. You need to make sure you have enough water in your system. You need to make sure you get enough sleep. So like no matter what, like I'm pretty much always thinking about bodybuilding. So it's pretty annoying, I'd say. I'd
Wait,
if I had a son and he wanted to do bodybuilding, I'd probably tell him to do something else.
you'd tell him to screw off, don't get into it.
100%. Yeah, do anything else, bro. Do something that one gets you paid more, and two that lets you travel and like do fun stuff. Because this ain't it. It's not it, dude.
Well, so why do you do it then?
I love it. That's why. Yeah,
What
dude.
what about it do you love, do you
I think it's
think?
the discipline. A lot of it. It is hard. And the fact that it is hard makes me want to do it, I guess. And that's like the one thing I'm good at is just like being disciplined and staying on track and being like very regimented. Like I'm just good at it. Like I don't give up. Like I just
Yeah.
I keep on going, and like I could just stay on top of my shit all the time. So I I just wanted to be good at something, and like this was the best thing I was good at. Like I never was good at sports and stuff like that. So I um I found bodybuilding in 2018, and I did a competition, and like I dieted myself down for that show, and I looked crazy. And after I won that show, I loved it, dude. I just wanted my mom to be there when I won. I wanted all my friends to be there when I won, got a trophy. Like it was just like contagious, that feeling. So yeah, I fell in love with it, and pretty stuck.
Yeah, it's like addicting. But
Yeah,
you mentioned 2 things that, selfishly, I wanna learn more about. So, you said sleep and eating 6 meals a day.
yeah.
So, let's talk about the eating part. When I was trying to and maybe you're talking about bulking, are you talking about bulking or cutting when you say 6 meals?
Uh, Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, when I think about cutting, and this is probably not a good idea, I don't recommend people, but I'm like, I just wanna shrink my eating window to as small as possible. Like I'll always try to skip breakfast. I'll try to push off to lunch. Then I'll just try to push to dinner because I know at the end of the day I'm gonna want to eat more. And so that's what I want to do. And that's my like go-to for losing weight. But when you say 6 meals a day, I'm like, how the heck are you losing weight if you're eating 6 meals a day? What's the rationale behind that?
Yeah. So I mean, most bodybuilders, they eat 6 meals in every 2 to 3 hours. I'm eating essentially as long as I'm up. And the rationale is just keeping your metabolism in check, and making sure that your metabolism's rolling so that you are in
Oh,
control of it. Because when you don't eat, if you only eat like, most girls like eat like 2 meals a day, and they eat a salad, and like they have like a high carb meal or something like that.
yeah.
Your metabolism has no idea what's going on. Every time you eat a meal with, carbohydrates, like a well-rounded meal, carbohydrates, protein, fats, your metabolism spikes up. One, it's going to process that food and use the nutrients in the food. It's going to spike your insulin. So your
Yeah.
insulin's going to bump up as well. And if you have higher insulin sensitivity, if you have a higher metabolism, your body is going to burn through calories easier. So if you
Really?
only eat 2 meals a day, that's only 2 times a day that your insulin is spiking if you have carbs in that meal, and that you are having your metabolism ramp up. So essentially, every time I eat in those 6 meals, my metabolism is getting ramped up, and then it goes back down, and then by the time I eat again, it ramps up again. So I'm totally in control of my metabolism and my body weight.
Really? So you're
Yeah.
actually burning more calories by eating more often.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And what's the space in between each meal?
About 2-3 hours. Like after
Really?
like clockwork, after like 2-3 hours, I start to get hungry again.
How many calories are you eating in those meals? Because I assume that they have to be smaller meals.
Yeah, right now they're about 600 calories.
Oh, so you're putting down like 3,600 a day?
Yeah, that's like on my rest days, I'll be 3,600, and then when I'm training, it'll be around 4,000 calories.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah.
Wait. Are you you're bulking right now, right?
Yeah, I just started bulking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
Yes.
maybe I should, and that probably makes you less hungry then, right?
No, it makes me more hungry, honestly, yeah.
Eating
Because
more often.
yeah, because every
Oh,
2 hours, as my body adjusts and my metabolism adjusts, I start to get hungry and hungry. Obviously, there's a limit. There's a limit to your body on how much food it can take to where you're just gonna be full, and then also your insulin. If you're, like, eating so much carbohydrates and so much food throughout the day, your insulin isn't gonna be as sensitive. It's not gonna be as reactive to every meal the more you eat.
okay. So if I wanted to optimize fat loss, my meals should contain what? What's like the breakdown of protein, carbs, and fats?
I mean, it depends person to person, obviously, like your body weight, and you pretty much figure it out from your body weight onward. So like you pretty much intake to maintain your muscle mass or gain muscle mass, you'd want to like take in a gram of protein per pound of body weight, or gram and a half if you're
Yeah.
trying to build muscle. Um, so that is based on your body weight, and then from there, it's just a breakdown of how many calories it takes, like your maintenance calories below that. So like a calorie deficit. Um, and then it's just from there, carbohydrates and fats. Like, doesn't matter. You can have higher fats, lower carbohydrates, lower fats, but you just want to break down within those calories, you have sufficient amount of protein, and then make up the rest of the calories and carbohydrates and fats. Just make sure it's below your maintenance calories. You're in a
I
deficit.
got
Your body's burning more calories than it's putting out.
you. You think there's ever been a bodybuilder that's done the carnivore and just try to crush protein?
Yeah, I feel like there is. I don't know about like competitive bodybuilder, but I know like a lot of Instagram bodybuilders do it. Yeah, there was one guy. I think that Tristan Lee kid. He's some like Instagram bodybuilder. I think he did carnivore diet. I'm
Did
pretty sure.
he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So you also mentioned sleep. Like, I've been having hella sleep experience late or sleep experiments lately because
Um,
it's just like, dude, there's not enough hours in the day to get, and you know yourself too. Like you're
yeah,
probably busier than me, and it's like there's stuff that has to get done. With me, like there's stuff that has to get done. So I got to get up sometimes at 4:30 in the morning to be able to like get stuff in. But
yeah,
like the past week, not this week, the week before, the most sleep I got was 5 hours and 12 minutes. And there's only 2 days where I got 5 hours. The rest were all 4 hours of sleep. Um, but I don't think I've ever felt better. Like it was pure enthusiasm. I was fired up every single day. Like
yeah,
let's get after it. But then like last night, I got 8 hours 40 minutes of sleep. I didn't work out in the morning, and I've never felt worse throughout the day.
yeah.
But so how does that factor in with why is sleep so important for you then? Because when I get zero sleep sometimes I feel like $1,000,000.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sometimes I can relate because I mean, obviously, I have a lot of stuff to do, and then I have to get up at 5 a.m. for work as well, and then still do the bodybuilding stuff. So yeah, there are nights where I have 4 or 5 hours of sleep. But yeah, on those days that I get a solid 8-9 hours, um, I feel I feel pretty decent. Honestly, it's the training that helps me stay up and feel more alive, honestly, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then it's just so important for bodybuilding purposes because if you're not getting enough sleep, if you literally need 8-9 hours of sleep in order to recover your muscle faster. And the better and longer you sleep for, easier it is to work out again. So if I'm hitting chest and I get 2
Uh,
good sleeps in between my next chest session, I'll feel better. I'll feel more recovered from from a muscular standpoint. Um,
okay.
yeah, that's the only reason that sleep is so important, just from the muscle recovery.
And when you start your prep, how long do you give yourself?
Usually about 18 weeks. Sometime I've done 16-week preps, but that's just because my metabolism is very high and I lose fat very easily, so I don't need to struggle to lose weight as much. I
Yeah.
struggle to gain weight, if anything.
And okay, so that's about like 4 months.
Yeah,
And the reason why I asked that question is because I'm just wondering, like, let's just say I am 15% body fat right now,
yeah.
and I wanted to drop to 10% body fat. How would you go about doing that, being in a deficit each day, and how long do you think that would actually take?
Um, mm, probably about like 8 to 10 weeks, I'd say, because like it depends on how regimented you are. If you were like 100% on with everything, like your meals and like training, and then obviously like if you're doing cardio too, which you probably will need, um, I'd say about 8 to 10 weeks, probably.
8 to 10.
Yeah.
How badly do I screw myself when, and I do this all the time. I'm like, "All right, like, I'm locking in. I'm trying to lose body fat." But then there comes a weekend where, like, oh, this guy hits me up and it's
Yeah.
like, "Yo, let's go out to dinner." And then in my mind, I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna go out to dinner." Like, Anthony, just eat your fricking dinner and then go to bed after. But sometimes it turns into drinks, and then you get back and it's a late night snack, and then in your head, it's like, "It's a cheat day, like, it's fine, like, enjoy yourself today and then get back to it tomorrow." But then you just go overboard with the cheat day. And so let's just say you've locked in that entire week, deficit, deficit, deficit. Boom, Saturday comes in, you have your cheat day. How much does that really set you back with getting to your ideal body fat?
I wouldn't say much. I mean, it's
It
it's
doesn't.
recoverable. Yeah. Like if there's one cheat day within like a 4-week span and you're like cutting down for 8 to 10 weeks, it's really not going to affect you that much. And yeah, it's one meal. Like the most you could do damage wise in a meal is like go over maybe like 1,000 calories on your. So I mean, being a normal person that can put down food, I'd say like your limit where you feel stuffed is like 1,000 something calories. So you're only going to do that much damage, and then like it's only one day out of what 4 weeks that you're dieting down. It's not going to kill you, but it's not going to be great for the ultimate goal, I'd say,
Yeah.
but it won't kill you.
Have you ever had moments on prep where you're just like, I need to eat, and then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
just
no,
went
yeah.
overboard?
I had one prep where I like had cheated a bunch of times and like it just kept on happening and like I would binge out. Um and it was so annoying, dude. It was the worst. Like and it's I mean, some of it is a lot of I guess stress. I think that time it was just, the actual stress of like the amount of cardio I was doing. But then a lot of it is just mental headspace and like what's going on in your life. And if you have a goal that you are totally like all for, then I don't think there's much gonna get in your way mentally that you can
Okay.
stop you from getting that goal. I mean, it's just a matter of willpower, I think, at the end of the day.
And are you natural or are you not?
No, no, I've been enhanced for about 4 years now. Yeah, 4 years.
Okay. Okay, 'cause I talked to Zan about this stuff. It's all new stuff, and, like, I'm learning,
Yeah.
so, like, the podcast the other day, we had Zan on, and then we had, Fit Finance, bro. I don't know if you've seen
I don't think
his
so. I
stuff
remember seeing
before.
you on it and him, but I didn't recognize the other guy.
He's the boy. Like, he's sick, but he's natural, Zan isn't.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, when you start thinking about the choice, should I stay natural or should I not? Can you, like, walk me through the buildup of that decision?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, essentially, like, I knew I had loved the sport, and it's, like, totally different person to person, but I knew I loved the sport, and I wanted to be competitive in it, and I had been natural already for 4 years, 4 or 5 years, And, you know, I feel like most people that you ask would say the same thing in that they wish they started later. You know, because you really don't know like your natural limit to how much muscle you can build. Because like constantly you are learning. Like I'm still learning, like I didn't learn how to hit back properly until like the last 2 years, 3 years. So like
Damn.
I'm still learning every day. So like even if you think you hit your natural limit, like you still have more to learn that could help you, that you can be more disciplined and you can still push harder. Like I feel like you just never know. So like I'd say obviously age is a big factor in that. Like you just shouldn't be doing it before you're like 20 years old at least,
Why?
because you're so young and you just like haven't decided, and like unless you're like a genetic freak and like you can see like your muscle bellies and you gain muscle very easily and you're made for this sport or bodybuilding at least, then I'd say do it. And you can, you know you'll be great, you know you'll make money from it. So it's almost an investment, I guess you could say, but it's just so intense. It's like so much, like the chemicals of it, what it does to your the side effects of it, what it does to your mental, becoming reliant on it. Like you're
Yeah.
stepping into a whole world of chemicals and everything that you just have no idea about. Like you could do as much research as you want, which most people don't, but
Right.
you don't know until you start taking it what's gonna happen. So like it's a big gamble. It's a big gamble essentially. And it's
So maybe there's someone right now that was in your footsteps a couple years back, or just me who's curious. But like after going on it and being enhanced now, when you say the chemicals and some of the side effects and the mental side of things, can you like break that down?
yeah, in what way? Just how
Just like what does that mean? So we could start with let's just start with side effects. Like when you say side effects, what comes with that?
yeah, like it's different person to person. Like a lot of what they say about bodybuilding is like it essentially comes down to how you handle the compounds that you take. You know, some people can handle it better either from a side effect standpoint, so like hair loss, acne, gynecomastia. So that's like just the visual effects that you see. Then there's also how your body handles it internally, how your lab markers look, how your liver enzymes look, how your heart um, it reacts to it as well. If you're taking other compounds that can enlarge your heart, like you don't know what it's going to do until you start taking it, and it can go any one of those ways. And most people experience some sort of physical side effect. I had pretty severe acne, same as
Okay.
Zan too. He probably said that as well. And
Yeah.
and some people get gynecomastia. Like it depends person to person. And then over time, I feel like no matter what, essentially what genetic makeup you have, you're gonna have some sort of lab markers that are off, and you know your liver enzymes will be high here and there. But some people react really bad when they can have liver failure from it, they can have kidney failure from it, any sort of issue. I mean, obviously, it's an extreme case for sure, and the average Joe might not experience that, but you don't know until you start taking it. So yeah, that's like from a side effect standpoint, I feel like it hits both sides really, and then obviously hair loss and stuff like that, but it's not like life changing really, I guess.
Well, you got a good head of hair, so
Yeah,
I
I know. I
don't
still
think
got some.
I don't think the hair loss is
Thank God.
uh, how has it affected your head and your mental health?
Yeah, that's pretty lucky for me as well. I don't really experience much of that. Like, people like that do competition preps and stuff like that. They take more intensive compounds like trenbolone and things like that. Like, just um, very strong uh, compounds that can affect you mentally. But I've never experienced that. I'm very, a lot of people say that steroids they heighten like what you already have going on or like your personality. So like kind of anxious people will be like super anxious, or like
Oh,
people that are angry will maybe be a little bit more tempered and stuff like that. But I've always been a pretty chill guy and like very never had depression, never had anxiety really. So like I didn't really have any issues with most compounds that I take. If anything, I'm just like before, like a couple weeks before competition, when my calories are really low and I'm super tired, I'll be like a little bit more short than usual. But that's about it. And
like
that's
Like, short you mean height-wise?
No, 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 like, just, like, short, curt, like,
Okay.
very yeah. Just, like, kinda snappy, that's all, but that's, like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the most I'll do is pretty much that, and then, like, a couple meltdowns here and there, but that's about it.
Are you able to share how much this stuff costs?
Yeah, it's about, like I mean, at least for, like, a competition prep, let's say for, like, an amateur, I'd say it's probably like 1,000, a little over $1,000, for, like a 16-week prep.
$1,000 for 16 weeks.
Yeah, that's just for, like, the PEDs and supplements.
Okay, interesting, interesting,
Yeah.
interesting. And then one thing that Zan and Fit Finance Bro actually brought up when we were on it the other day that I didn't even think about because I saw a fire ass post from you, a little hard lunch, right? Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
is
She's
that
actually she's here right now, yeah.
is that your girlfriend or is it your
Yeah,
fiance or who
that's
your
my
girlfriend?
girlfriend, yeah, we just met, we started talking, like, 3 months ago. She found me on social media from one of my posts on my For You page, and it was a
Really?
fashion, because I do fashion videos and stuff like that, and,
Yeah.
she found one of those, and then she followed me, and then we started messaging back and forth, and she's from Arizona, so she flew here from Arizona, and, we met, like, what, a month ago now, and, we hit it off, and we do the same exact thing, and we're very compatible, and, she's just amazing. She's an amazing woman, so it's like it was super easy. It was like the easiest decision I ever made, so
Wait, so she's moving in with you now or she's just
no,
here to visit?
she's just here for the week, and then we're going to North Carolina on Sunday, and, we're gonna
Like
go visit because she wants to move to the East Coast, but she doesn't know where. So,
okay.
we're gonna check out North Carolina.
So I brought up that question because something that Zan mentioned was like fertility. I
Yes.
didn't even I
Yeah,
didn't even think about that. Do you ever get worried about that?
absolutely, yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. You don't really know until you start trying to have a kid and you won't really know until, like, you stop bodybuilding, but, like, some people still, even while they're taking, testosterone and supplements, they still can have children, and there's cases where they still, um, get a girl pregnant, but, yeah, sometimes people that come off, they, they don't have, their FST, their sperm count is all down, like, everything, all their fertility markers are totally messed up, and they need to take, certain things like HCG and, like, fertility, peptides to help with it, and then
Yeah.
sometimes, obviously, in worst cases, do IVF therapy and everything, but, yeah, you don't know until you stop.
And I mean, this is a personal question, but I'm just curious because I'm thinking a bit from like the perspective of someone who's maybe not familiar with the space. Like, you don't a girl may get in a relationship and they may not know the side effects of being enhanced and like what that could lead fertility. Is that a conversation that you have with your girlfriend where you just break that down and let her know beforehand?
Yeah, I mean, I would, but my girlfriend now, she's into bodybuilding and she, like, knows the whole
I
world,
gotcha.
and she does competitions herself, so she knows about it already. But yeah, if I were to date someone that wasn't privy to bodybuilding or anything enhancement wise, yeah, I'd definitely let them know. Absolutely, because it could be frustrating.
Tell me about nursing. What drew you to that?
Um Nothing really, just a job, honestly. My mom suggested it, because, it's a good job, it's stable. She wanted to become a nurse, my grandma wanted to become a nurse as well, so my mom suggested it, and I was like, "Alright, I'll just apply to schools for nursing," and, I applied to a whole bunch of schools, and I got accepted to Drexel on the East Coast, and I just said, "Screw it, I'll go for it," and I just went across the country to nursing school, and I ended up loving it, and, it fit really well with my personality, so I was like,
Yeah.
I figured if I can do it, I should, and then I just kept on going with it, and I really like it. I mean, I like the personability of talking to people, helping them, and the hospitality of it too. My father, he was also in, like, the hospitality, business. He was in the food industry, and I always
Yeah.
watched him growing up, like just work with customers, and that's essentially all you are. Is like a glorified like waiter. And
Seriously.
well, yeah, exactly. Just like basically that plus drugs is like essentially what nursing is. And yeah, I'm just like good at I'm good at making people feel like calm. And I think that's the main thing in nursing is just making the patient feel calm and that everything's taken care of. You're in good hands, and I do really well at that. So it makes it my job easier as well.
Over the winter, my papa was in the hospital. It was like over Christmas time. So he's in the hospital. I think he was having seizures or something. We thought we were gonna lose him. So this was like it was really bad. We didn't think he was gonna make it, but he ended up making a recovery. But I mentioned this story, it's because being in a hospital, and I don't know what department it was, but being in a hospital is it's a very surreal experience.
Yeah,
And it makes you appreciate what you have and, like, cherish it, but it also almost changes your, like, perspective on the world and, like, life and gratitude.
yeah, yeah. It really does. Um, and I think like at this point I'm so numb to it. I don't think you don't really think about what a patient comes into the hospital thinking, and like this is my everyday, so I don't really think much about it. And um, it almost comes numb to people being sick, people being feeling terrible. So it's kind of hard to relate sometimes, but like everyone knows what it feels like to be scared, obviously. And the older you get, the more health scares you get and everything like that. And it's like there's nothing more unsettling than knowing there's something wrong with you and that it's like you have to handle that first before anything. Like
Right.
you can't help other people, you can't go to work if you yourself aren't 100%. So, like, it's tough, and especially with kids too, and, like, I work in pediatrics, so it's, like, even worse because if you think you're anxious as a patient, imagine what, like, the parents feel as well. They're, like, incredibly anxious about it, so it's, yeah, definitely pretty unsettling for parents and everything, but, yeah, I feel like myself, I do a good job of making them feel calm and at ease a little bit, because that's all the nurse wants to do and all the doctors wanna do too is just make you feel better.
And pediatrics is just that just means kids, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And so, like, the kids that are in there, is it cancer, or is it sickness, or what are they dealing with?
I work in neurology, so yeah, patients with seizures, so like what your papa had.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
and yeah, kids with seizures, brain surgeries, spinal surgeries, and then just, general pediatrics. So, like, people with kids with bronchiolitis and just, like, regular sickness,
W
migraines.
what's that like going into a room when a kid's on a hospital bed and the parents are in there freaking out and then, like, what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, most people generally, people act normal. But, yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody in the hospital does a really good job of like, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do." That's all you can do at the end of the day is just let them know, "Hey, this is the problem. This is the plan. This is what we're gonna do to get you here." And that's all we can do. Like, we can't do much else, and they understand that. But it's a matter of, yeah, having a plan. Because the second the doctor comes in or the nurse comes in and you say, "I don't have a plan. We don't know what we're doing," like, that's not very
Yeah,
settling. So, like,
seriously.
yeah, as long as there's a plan in place and, like, we know what we're doing, which most hospitals do, um, it becomes pretty easy thereafter. I mean, like, it's just a process from arrival and admission to discharge. We're just here to get you from point A to point B and get you home and get you healed up or whatever's wrong, fix that. So, obviously, sometimes that doesn't happen all the time, but 90% of the time it happens. It's just a matter of following the plan.
I don't think I maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but when I think back to that time, you have no idea how much impact some of the nurses had because my nana was there for the most of the time, like, had on her.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, she's sitting there alone, like, my papa's not really responsive. So, like, a nurse comes in, making her feel comfortable. That's the person that she can connect with at the time. Like, that's the reassurance. And I don't know if people have told you that or if you can sense, like, you're making them feel that way, but the level of impact that you have, it's like it is huge,
Yeah.
huge for those people that are in the hospital at the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think, I don't realize that sometimes I kinda feel it and, like, um, in general, just, like, when I'm talking to people outside of work, and just regularly, I feel like my smile and the way I come across is just very, um, genuine and, like, I'm like a lot of people say I'm like a golden retriever, and, uh, and I make them feel at ease, but yeah, I definitely don't realize the impact of just being there for the patient, and, like, even though, like, it was 5 years of school or something that I went to, but I can't heal somebody like a doctor could heal somebody. I can't prescribe medications, and I don't know the exact medications to prescribe or anything. I'm just the one giving them, but, yeah, I don't think I realize how much of an effect that it has walking into a room as a nurse. But yeah, yeah, I like it so far.
It's crazy, but the other hand of that is there are also there are also some really shitty nurses,
Oh,
like,
yeah, definitely.
rude, like, there's some bad people out there,
Yeah.
bro, it's kinda wild.
I know, dude. It's just like I've worked with like a decent amount. I haven't worked with one in a long time, but there are nurses, yeah, where it's like it's either a fact of they're mean or also a fact of they just can't handle like the work, which I find
Yeah.
pretty crazy. Obviously, different floors are crazier than others, but like some nurses just can't handle like I don't know what it is. Obviously, since I do my job pretty well, but they just like get overwhelmed very easily and they're like frantically like one patient to another, and it's like they can't manage the time well. I don't know what it is, but yeah, some people just they aren't made for it. It's just too much stress for them, and you can realize it pretty quickly, honestly.
No, seriously, like, a lot of the nurses had attitude, sometimes they just, like, weren't very responsive, and it was, like,
Yeah.
it would, like, drive my nana crazy, and she's like, "We need to get this other girl in here. Go get this other girl. We don't wanna deal with this person anymore. We don't wanna deal with this person." And so, it was like a going back process like
Yeah.
that, but the other thing with nursing is I have a friend who one of my best friends from back home, and his sister got into nursing, but she's like, "I wanna do the night shift." Because it's gonna make me more money. But I'm thinking about the night shift. She's like, "I only have to work 3 days a week." Like, "Okay, but guess what? 3 days, boom, boom, boom. That's an entire different schedule. This gotta just mess up the entire rest of the week." I can't even imagine that from a bodybuilding perspective, you're also trying to do that. Do you currently work night shifts?
No, I'm 100% days now, and I've been like that for just only, like, a couple months now, but, yeah, the last 4 years I've been working as a nurse, or 5 years. I have been, rotating night shifts and day shifts, so, like, yeah, it was incredibly hard to balance both because, like I said, sleep is so important for bodybuilding, and your energy levels through your workout get affected as well, and, like, just everything. It throws everything off because bodybuilding is very boxy and like regimented, and it totally throws you off your everything. But with that being said, you can still get the meals in. Like actually, I recently did a competition. It was a national competition, so the competition to win your pro card and become a professional bodybuilder.
Yeah.
I competed in a class of 29 guys, and I got 14th place. And the guy that got first place was also a nurse, and he worked night shift.
How
And it wasn't until I was backstage at like the where they were doing the awards and everything, I realized I was like, "Oh, where do you work?" And he was like, "Oh, I work at this hospital. I work night shifts." And we were like talking about our meal timing, and I was like, "Yeah, you eat this meal at 2 a.m. and then at 4 a.m." And it was like the exact same thing. So like it can be done, and it's been done. Obviously, it just obviously depends on genetics and everything like that. But yeah, it's possible. Like you're awake, you can wake up, or you can eat a meal every 2 hours no matter what. You go to sleep for the same amount of time, pretty much 8 hours, 7 hours, whatever you can get, and then you wake up, you eat a meal every 2 hours. Like, it's not rocket science, it's just a matter of timing and preparation.
But, like, after a night you're on the night shift, do you try to get on a completely different schedule the next day, or do you, like,
Yeah.
ease into that?
Yeah, personally, it's different person to person, and everybody has their own way to do it, but yeah, usually I would, just go to sleep when I get home at 7 AM. I'll just go to sleep and not sleep as long. I'd only sleep until, like, noon, and then I'd wake up and go, to work out at, like, 1 PM and then just stay up the rest of the day and just be, like, pretty tired and then zonk out that night at a
Right.
normal time and then get back on my day schedule from there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
but everyone
lot.
does it differently.
You wanna know why I think that you make people comfortable? I mean, what this is what we've literally talked for almost an hour. This is our first time ever talking.
Yeah.
And just from like this conversation, I feel like you have an emotional side, and you seem very empathetic as well. And I think
Yeah.
that goes a long way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I do, and, like, I don't really, like, if a patient, like, passes away or something like that, I don't really, like, get my emotions into it that way, but I feel like I'm always worried about, how other people feel, wanna make sure they're comfortable, and I think that comes across. Obviously, there's a people-pleasing aspect to that, definitely, but, yeah, I'm just, like, kind of always worried about, like, what somebody thinks and, like, what they feel and everything like that, and I definitely am a very emotional guy, that's for sure, like,
Yeah.
just not the typical guy, for sure, I'm
Um,
very emotional.
which is I think is a really good thing. I think one of the most underutilized and undertapped potentials that guys have is to tap more into their feminine side. And
Yeah.
I actually learned that through Pickup
Oh, really?
and Robert Greene. Pickup and Robert Greene.
Yeah, dude, I researched pickup stuff for the longest time. I think it was, like, my freshman and sophomore year of college. I looked all into that whole world, but yeah, I looked at that a lot, and it's really important too, and a lot of it I got just because I was raised mainly by my mother, and,
Mm.
that helped me tap into my, feminine side a lot and, like, understand the woman's perspective and just, have a respect for women a lot more, and yeah, just I think being raised more so by your mother definitely makes you a little bit more emotional.
Yeah. What was that? And maybe this is personal, but was there just being raised by your mother, was there something that happened that was the case?
No, my father was just an alcoholic for most of my childhood. So he
Okay.
was there and, but just not so, like, not super he was kinda like recluse, I'd say, a lot of the time when he was drunk. So
Okay.
it didn't help much, and my mom, she was just like a superwoman, like, just always taking care of everything, like, loved me and my brother like no other and, like, would do anything for us, and so I was just very close with my mother, and that bond was, like, pretty inseparable. So, like, I just came to her for everything. She showed me how to shave. She showed me all the stuff that you show boys, and, she was, like, the parent for the both of them. So, yeah, that's the only reason.
That's definitely where you got the emotional and empathetic
Yeah.
side. I can literally feel it, like, when you're explaining that story with your mom. Like,
Yeah.
you can sense this shit. Like, you can
Yeah.
actually feel it. It's
Yeah,
actually
right.
ki yeah, dude, that's lit.
It's so funny.
Also on the pickup stuff, did you ever read the book, The Game by Neil
Oh,
Strauss?
no, but I always remembered they always talked about it and all the stuff I
So
listened to
good.
about and it was good, right? That's what I've heard. I've heard it's really good.
One of the best books I've ever read. And
Really?
what guys would you listen to? And what guys did you learn
It w
from?
What do they used to be called? Because it was so long ago now, but it was the guy Tyler. Tyler,
Tyler
right? What was his last name? He was, like, had red hair, and there was another guy, Julian.
Tyler
Um,
Durden? I don't know.
I think so. I think that's what his name was. I think that's, like,
He
his, like,
stage
alias.
name or
Yeah,
whatever?
right, yeah.
Have you heard of Mystery?
I think I have, yeah.
Okay.
I never listened to his stuff, though.
So Neil Strauss was, like, the main guy. So, like, he wrote the book The Game.
Yeah.
Dude, the other day, 'cause I've gotten all my friends hooked into this pickup stuff after I read it because 'cause I'm like, "Yo, this is so fascinating." And
Yeah.
so we were watching, like, Neil Strauss infield videos. Like, these guys recorded themselves picking up girls, and you can
Yeah.
see it live. But
Yeah.
one of the greatest pickup artists of all time is Neil Strauss. His mentor was Mystery. And
Oh,
this guy is like, dude, he's got long hair. He's like 6'5". He'll wear 700 rings. He wears
yeah.
goggles. We had him on the podcast a
You
couple
did?
weeks ago.
Oh, no way.
Fucking Mystery. We had Mystery on the
No
podcast.
way. That's
And
wild.
dude, I was telling this story to somebody, but uh, bro, he comes on the podcast and he's in Switzerland at the time. I didn't even think it was gonna happen. Like, I was in communication with his wingman, Ablaze, and Ablaze is like, "Yeah, like, Mystery's like a rock star, bro. So it's like we can plan for this day, but honestly, you just got to be at all times, be on 2 hours notice, and I'll let you know." So I'm like,
Mhm.
fuck. Okay, whatever. And so he booked his time, and then the day of, like 4 hours before, he's like, "Mystery's good to go at 9 p.m." I'm like, all right. I'm like kind of tripping coming into this. Like, you're starstruck, bro. This is an idol too. Like, you read this book. you are listening to this guy. It's kind of surreal. He's been on like the late night show. He had his own TV show. Like he's a very famous guy. And I get on the podcast and he comes on super charismatic, smiling. He's ripping a blunt during the podcast. It's the middle of the night. He's got his goggles on. He's just spitting facts on how to pick up girls. And then after we get off and he's like, okay, Anthony, I've got a date with the Swedish girl right now. So take care. And then he just dips and he goes on a fucking date with the Swedish girl. It's like, he's the man. I love that guy. But it was
That's
a
crazy. That's wild you got him on, bro. That's wild.
It was a crazy, I mean, like the best way to describe that guy, he's just like a rock star.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it
Like,
seemed like. I think I remember seeing him in a couple videos and stuff like that. Never got into
yeah.
his stuff.
But that's the most underrated thing about pickup is it's not just for girls. Like it's so applicable in life in general. Like everything's pickup.
Yeah, that was the main thing, dude. Is like I started researching that and pickup and stuff like that, and then I joined a fraternity, and through the fraternity they have you like meet every brother and everything like that, and like after that, like my social skills got so much better. Just like going up to people and just being like, "Hey, my name's Chazz," just from there, and just going straight into it, and like just that, like throwing yourself into a social situation and just kind of figuring it out from there helped my like personality explode so much. And like
Yeah.
it's really like interpersonal skills and just like learning how to talk to anybody. It helps so much.
It's seriously, you want to know something funny? So this just clicked for me the other day. So right now my job, I cold call. Like I literally just rip 100 cold calls a day. And so it kind of, and again, these people have never seen me before. They've never heard of me. It's a straight random call. And so I get a lot of people that'll just hang up or they're like, who is this guy? And so one of the fundamental principles of pickup is when you're going to go approach a group of girls, say, hey, I only got 30 seconds, but I want to run something by you. Give a false time constraint. Because in their head, when a random guy comes up, the first thing they're thinking is like, God, are we going to be stuck with them? When are we going to get rid of them? So you want to disarm them by a false time constraint. I started ripping that on cold calls. I'd be like, hey, this is Anthony Gross from XYZ, blah, 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 blah. I only got like 2 minutes before I got to hop in a meeting. Can we go through this quickly? And I swear to God, it works. Like it disarms them because they're like, okay, well, he's going to leave me alone then. It's applicable to everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the guy on Instagram? It's like School of Hard Knocks or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. And he interviews people on the street, like stuff like that, dude. Just like constantly like going, not even like badgering, but like actually asking interesting questions and like just keeping them involved in the conversation. It's like so important, dude. And that's such a skill. Xana's really good at that too.
Oh, Zan's a great communicator. Also, with the thing with we're spitting. I did not think this podcast was gonna go this way, but we're spitting like human psychology facts right now. One thing I learned is when you go up to someone and maybe you can implement this as a nurse or like what's going on, or even in your social media content. When you go up to someone and you ask them something, I would never go in and say, how's your day going? Or stuff like this, or how are you today? It's so basic. There's a one way that this person tells that she studies human behavior. She's like, always go up to someone and say, tell me something good that happened today. Or what's a win that you had today?
Yeah.
And first of all, you'll be, in their eyes, you're way different because nobody ever starts conversations like this. Mm-hmm. It's always script. It's run script. How are you today? I'm good. How about you? How many times do you do that every single day? A million. It means nothing. There's no emotional depth. If you get on this call, I say, Chazz, what's something good that happened today? First of all, pattern interrupt. You're going to have to start thinking. Yeah. Second of all, it starts making you think about something positive. Right. So now you're associating positiveness, happiness with me. There's a whole nother layer of like psychology behind that.
Yeah. That's good, dude. That is really good.
You should rip that tomorrow with a patient or something.
I know. What's going on. Honestly, might. Most of the time, it's me waking them up at like 7 a.m. So like, I don't think I could ask that. Maybe for the week, and obviously, like they're in a hospital, so it's like probably not much as good, but yeah, it's something maybe.
Yeah, but even dude, this is maybe a little bit weird, but he just has some do you have any good dreams? That's
Yeah,
a little creepy.
that's a little
Yeah,
thing, especially
especially
for a kid.
especially if it's a kid, and we got Chazz Finnigan, 250 pounds, fucking shredded guy coming and saying,
Exactly,
"What were your dreams?"
exactly, bro. It's off-putting.
But anyway, holy cow. Alright, man, we've covered a lot of good things. I think we're kinda wrapping up here. Is there ever a piece of advice that you've received or a motto that has really just changed the course of your life and you live by it?
Mm, yeah, I'd say, uh, the overused one is, how you do anything is how you do everything, for
Mm,
sure. Like, I do a decent amount of stuff just between at least bodybuilding, nursing, and then social media. Um, and like once one of them starts to go, like they all start to go essentially. Like if I get lazy in one aspect, usually the other two will fall off as well. So like no matter what, like you really as stressful as it sounds, I guess you could say, you always really need to be on and like focused or like going towards some sort of goal, and you can't really like relent in any aspect. And obviously they say, you need balance in life, but like when you're going towards a goal and you have your mindset on one mission and one goal, like you can't really be super balanced. You really need to be on. I like give everything to all three of those things: social media, bodybuilding, and nursing. And I try my hardest, and that's all you can do. But like when you start getting lazy and lackadaisical with how you do things in your daily process, it's gonna start affecting everything, no matter what.
mm. Do you ever get burned out though?
I get tired, but that's about it. Not really burned out, I'd say.
Respect.
um, yeah, I've never really hit that wall completely, because like everything kind of gives back to me. I'd definitely say like the nursing and working with children like give back to me, emotionally. It allows me to connect with the community. It allows me to get this interpersonal relationship with patients, and it gives back to my life. And then outside of work, bodybuilding gives back to me because I can work on my physique and I can go towards this goal, and it feeds my soul in that way. And then social media as well, because I'm out reaching to the world and, showing them just those two things: how I bodybuild, how I nurse, and like people love it and allows me to inspire people. So like all three of them like kind of work synergistically, and
I
it
gotcha.
feeds my soul while also like allowing me to work and give me more energy to work.
Running off enthusiasm in the
Yeah.
purest form.
Yeah, exactly,
That's
dude. Literally.
well said. It was an absolute pleasure having you
Yeah.
on, Chaz. Appreciate it
Likewise,
big time.
Anthony. It was so nice meeting you, dude.
Much love.
Yeah, you too, man.